Hi everybody, this is Katie Martin. We're here with Brenda Loftus at Stewart Title on Dallin Road in Beaumont. And Brenda's just going to give us a little bit of a rundown on how title companies work and title policies and all that stuff. So thank you for talking with me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. Okay, I wanted to first ask you kind of in a nutshell how a title policy works and what it is.
A title policy is basically an insurance policy to a new homeowner that is ensuring to them that the correct people have conveyed title to them. There's no breaks in the chain of title. All liens are taken care of prior to closing, and taxes are paid as well. So that's in a nutshell what a title policy does for a new homeowner.
Now tell me, once the title policy is searched, people think that it's a very quick thing and they can close in a few days if they're paying cash. What all is entailed to run the title search, and how long does that process take?
There's a lot of different factors that can determine how long a title policy or title commitment takes to be issued. It just all depends on if it's acreage or if it's a lot and block in a platted subdivision. Acreage always takes longer. They do not just search the half acre it's out of. It could be out of a 100-acre and a 500-acre tract. They have to search the entire tracts of property. If it's a lot and block, that's a lot easier. There's also other factors, such as if there's a probate that needs to be reviewed or a divorce that needs to be reviewed. So there's a lot of factors that can make it take a little bit longer, but a lot and block usually takes 3 to 5 days and 5 to 7 or possibly even more if there's any issues on the meets and bounds.
Okay, perfect. And just real quickly, how does a HUD-1 settlement statement work? I know we always talk about that right before closing, and we're always waiting to the last minute sometimes to get those. So
we cannot prepare a final HUD-1 settlement statement until we have closing instructions from the lender. Once we receive those, it tells us what fees need to be placed on the settlement statement on their behalf and what needs to be collected into escrow. Once that's prepared, that's sent to the lender for approval. Once they've approved it, then we can release figures to everyone, but it basically just puts all the final closing figures together: sales price, loan amount, any closing costs that need to be collected. So that's basically, and then we're ready to close once we have that.
Perfect. And on a seller's end for the settlement statement, sometimes people are asking me, do they need to bring a check to closing? And on a seller's end, what do they need to bring?
Typically, they do not have to bring a check. The only reason they would need to bring a check is if their payoff and closing costs exceeded the sales price of the property. But what would typically happen is all the closing costs would come out of their proceeds. Everybody that comes to closing needs to bring a valid identification, government identification. That's for notary purposes. We're required to have that, as well as a buyer's lender is going to want to see that I've verified that information as well.
Okay. And so let's switch it over on a buyer side. They do need to bring a check, and it needs to be
a cashier's check, certified check, or wire transfer.
Okay, perfect. So there are other options too as far as getting funds into the, you can wire transfer and all that stuff. So.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all your information,
welcome.
And I hope everybody has a great day. And remember, if it matters to you, it matters to Katie.